Hey guys, welcome to another edition of RunBuck on Games. I'm RunBuck. Got another war recap for you. Sorry for the lag. We had a war between this one and the last video, but sadly I procrastinated too long and the video's left. And too bad. It was a great war, really tight between us and Time Vortex. We ended up pulling it out. It was really tight though all the way to the end. So lesson learned. I need to not wait 4 days. But anyway, we do have a good war with koca kurtlar. That we ended up winning. You can see here 83 to 61 was the score. And then as usual, we've had the JTJ posse made some votes on who they thought was the best. We had a three-way tie for number 2, so I'm going to have to do some magic decisions to figure out who the third overall is. Well, you can see it already. It's on the thumbnail. So we'll just go through them in order of votes. The first off, if we go to the map, was Wu at Town Hall 9. You've heard his name before. He's our longtime alumni that's been hammering away at air attacks at Town Hall 9. So let's take a look at another episode of Air Marshal Wu Boy and see what we see. So it starts out like he has before with the 4Q and then a Go Wee to actually penetrate. You can kind of tell with these two ADs here what his goal is. He just wants to get in there, get those down, plus with the bonus of getting the queen. So there's a lot of value. So I think if you can see a penetration point where you can get access to 2 ADs and the queen and trigger the CC and handle it, you got to think a little bit about air. And I think that's what a lot of other people were surprised with as well, is that this base was, pretty much of a max base. I think it was 10 on their map, yeah. And the expos were up. So usually people wouldn't try air, but when you get those 3 things done and you have a pretty good route into the ADs, it's possible, as Wu Boy's showing you here, to get it done. And actually, he gets it done not like eking it out. He ends up powering through. So I think what made this possible was how much was accessible to his first thrust of the 2-go whiz team plus the kill squad. When you can get that much down, the 2 ADs plus the queen plus the CC, you can't complain. Now, if I was going to take a look again, let's take a look at the pathing of the, is that still his base? Yeah. So if you looked at the pathing, hold on, we don't want to, but if you look at the pathing, the next thing he's got to worry about. So if he gets this stuff down, he also got an expo out of it. So that too, plus a sweeper. Actually, both sweepers are in range. So look at all the, really, what he recognizes is if he gets into that box a lot and realize what his queen could have shooting range on from that position, that, he could clear out most of the anti-air components. And plus those air sweepers were pointed the wrong way anyway. They were pointed this way. So it really allows a push from this side to not be too hindered. There's just this guy that's really protecting it. And notice all the anti-loon defense is up here as well. So the base actually is very poorly set up to be against air, which probably is what enabled Wu Boy to power through against that, even though the expos were up. I mean, once you get this part of the base taken care of, take a look at what's left. That's it, really, So it's not surprising once you look at it. And I think that's the thing that we can all learn from this attack, is to look at what your first phase of your attack will do, what will be left after it. As you push into different parts of the base, will there be a notable weakness then of the base if you take a quarter of it out? And in this case, that's what Wu recognized. So great attack. Now we're into the tiebreaker. Let's go ahead and go with everybody likes Town Hall 11. This is not me being a fanboy, but let's take a look at RunBuck. I was able to 3-star once again. Nothing special. I mean, the attack actually didn't go as I was hoping, and the base isn't that amazing. I mean, it's basically all the bases you see up in Legend are all some structure trying to make it difficult for you to path to the middle to get to the town hall. So this guy's just throwing up a ton of stuff, and I was planning on creating 2 cuts here. The first one worked pretty well. I mean, it was basically I was just doing a queen charge, driving in. Goal was to get down this eagle before I started the second phase. But when you saw that wall breaker fail, that's what caused me to have to go in with the other guys. But if I had gotten that wall breaker through, I would have pushed a little harder over here instead and tried to drive through and then cut in to get to the middle. That was the original plan, but I had to adjust once I had the wall breaker fail and hit twice in the same spot. And you can see here, I knew that those 2 wall breakers wouldn't get through the max walls. Let me guess. Let's play that fun game. What level are those walls? I think 10. But then, it's just really just the power of the bowlers moving around the map, and some good timings of, in terms of a freeze spell for that multi, and the timing of that rage that you saw as the bowler squad came in. You get them lit up just a little bit, but then you rage it so that they can really quickly get that thing down, burn through the high DPS or high health buildings that were protecting it, and get it down. And once we got those two infernos down, then the bowler roll around can really make its pain felt. So yeah, but again, the big thing that went wrong there was the wall breaker fail. But it just shows you, if you can still have the freeze and the rage timing correct with the infernos, you can still, if you can get them down, the bowler walks can really still go right around the base and still drive into the core at the end. All right, last, we'll go ahead and go with a man that hasn't been on the show, and then we'll do some 4x speed for the other guys that were voted on. But number 20, is that right? Yeah, SlimShady. Let's take a look at his attack. It was amusing to a lot of the clan because he's going to drop a little bit of bowler action on you here. This isn't the the flavor of the month that you've been seeing run around with the healers followed by giants and then bowlers in the CC, but it is the bowler CC action. And so you can see he's building his little funnel. So I'd assume he's going to be coming in from somewhere over there. And sure enough, here they come, the Valk bowler. And this is what I actually like. And I think what we're working on right now is we're trying to understand, for baby Town Hall 9s, 10, 10 and lower that don't have Valks maxed yet, this is really a maxed Valk army for SlimShady. But if you didn't have that, that really instead of the Valks fronting the bowler team from the CC, you would do the giant healer thing. And I think that's really what's unique that we've seen with the flavor of the month attacks that this one recently was, is that, that solves a problem. I mean, typically, a lot of our attacks that we throw around, they're kind of fun. You do them mass, minor, or whatever, but they don't really solve a problem of a base style that at a certain town hall level that wasn't easily taken care of. But in this case, if you don't have maxed Valks, which he did, right? He had maxed Valks. Then you can consider instead switching to a giant, like 12 giants backed by healers, and then pushing behind that with the bowlers, and then hog team behind that. So more of an early baby Town Hall 9 play. But a nice attack by SlimShady either way. Had two really great cuts, as you recall from right there, and then the Valk bowler team coming down the middle, and then you can just see the power of that running rampant. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more for fun. Red Ace, everyone liked his attack. It was a 15. I haven't looked at it myself yet. So let's just go 4 speed and see what he's got. Glancing at the mix, it looks like it's going to be a split HeVa, if I'm right. Queen is able to overpower the king. Baby dragon doesn't work. So we're just doing a queen charge in. And now he's going to power him with the healers behind the Valks. Yep. So, I mean, what's working for him to make that attack really kind of flow well, the walls aren't full strength. It'd be interesting to go back and look at this base to see where the ADs are. Because really, to get that attack to fail, you need to strip off those healers. Because look at all that money he's got in healers or slots. But look at the pathing that he ended up choosing. So let's pause there. So he ends up coming this way, right? Now, what does that enable him to do in terms of, and the queen actually does a charge this way. So this AD is going to be handled by the queen. So his Valk charge is directly going into the first AD, and he's isolated the other 2 ADs to the back, and then he comes through. So let's see how well that pathing kind of works for him. Because I think that's one of the big keys with the 8 healer styles is that you need to be thinking of an entry point into the base and the flow of the Valks. And if you use the queen charge to start, how she helps make that simpler. But bang, in they go. They're spinning to win. Now right there. Oh, no, still nothing. So they went past. So actually she's getting sideswiped, but what saves him is the queen comes in from behind. And because of the fact he's got 8 healers, he can lose some. And he still got one, but notice how the Valks went through and got this guy. And there's only this guy here, but they're messing around over here. So anyway, something to think about, and especially important. That's what we're working on with the baby dragon attack. Not the baby, the baby Town Hall 9 attack is looking at the pathing in terms of AD avoidance to allow the healers to live longer. Last attack is Corey on 11. All right, Corey, close it out for us. What do you got? Let's see here. Circo. Max base. Gonna start with some golems. Okay, so he does a 2-go Wii followed by Valks and the bowlers and the CC. So very similar to SlimShady's, kind of. You know, with the Valks fronting the bowler team. And notice how well that's working. Whoops, sorry. But see how that bowler team is getting protected by the Valks? And it ends up being important because if that hadn't been there, look how many he had left. And was there a time issue? Let's see. Was it important enough? Was that difference? No, he had a lot of time. So as long as they didn't die off, I guess. So he was probably safe either way. But a cool attack, Corey. Good job. And I guess that wraps it up. So hopefully that helps you guys take a look at some of the interesting attacks we saw in that war. We'll go ahead and have another one out here for you in a couple days. Thanks. What am I going to do? My clan sucks. Hey, it's JTJ.
I think that's an all-out attack.
No, it's the legendary JTJU. JTJU. What? I like Dragoon. You and this army. Download Clash of Clans for free. Then subscribe to JTJU and win.